Welcome to the Shifa meditation video regarding burning of resin and incense. What we're going to do today is talk you through how to light the charcoal, how to burn the incense, and how to get the best effect. So we'll be doing it stage by stage, giving you a good idea. So when you take the things away, when you buy them from the Shifa meditation stall or from the website, you exactly know what you're doing with your resin and charcoal. Right, so the first stage of burning the resin, what you need is a heat resistant burner. So what I've got here is a marble burner. You can use soapstone or brass. So that's the first item. The second item you need is charcoal discs. What we stock is Swift Light charcoal. So as you can see, the charcoal disc is shaped like that. It has a cup area in which you can put the resin. So before we place the charcoal into the burner, we need to light the charcoal. For health and safety, you need to just get some tongs, serving tongs, hold the charcoal, and the next step is we're going to light the charcoal. Right, so lighting the charcoal, I'm holding it on with some silver tongs, got the gas cooker on, just hold it arm's length away, light the charcoal. You'll start to see sparkles coming out the charcoal. As soon as you see that, just let the one side of the charcoal get orange. As you can see there, some parts of the charcoal have gone quite red. If you still feel that the charcoal hasn't lit, just keep it there for a couple of more seconds until you see sparks coming out of the charcoal. Once you see sparks coming out of the charcoal, you'll see a consistency of sparks going throughout the charcoal. That is because it's a self-light charcoal. So once you've done that, you take it back to the burner and pop it into the top. Let it turn white. This might take a couple of minutes, so you leave the charcoal to its own devices. Remember to put it on a heat resistant mat, do not put it on carpet or soft furnishings, and never leave the charcoal unattended due to health and safety reasons. So if you wait a while, the charcoal will turn white. Right, what you can see is the charcoal is fully lit. How can we tell? If you give it a quick blow, you can see the heat from the charcoal coming out. Right, at this stage, the charcoal is ready for the resin to be put on. As it's a marble burner, this is totally fine to touch. It's not hot, so be cautious if you're using any other type. If you're using a ceramic burner, it will crack because of the intense heat of the charcoal. The other element that you need is some table salt and a small spoon. Why we use table salt in resin burning is because when you put resin directly on top of the charcoal, it actually burns it instead of taking out the properties of the resin. So what we're going to do at this stage is add half a teaspoon or less of salt on top of the charcoal. What this does, it controls the heat that goes onto the resin. The next thing you need is some of your resin. So this can be frankincense, myrrh. What I'm using here is agar wood, which we stock also, which has quite a lot of psychoactive properties and also for dispelling negativity. Now we get asked the question quite often, how much resin is needed on the charcoal? What I always recommend, the amount of resin should be minimal at the start, because you can always add the resin. You don't need lots of resin on the charcoal. Distribute the salt evenly with a small spoon across the charcoal, so the heat gets distributed evenly on the resin. Very carefully with your tongs. Remember, you do not touch the charcoal, just add the resin on top. And in a second or two, or in a few seconds, what we'll see is the resin starting to burn. And as you can see, the fumes of the resin are starting to come out. Actually, in the room here where we're recording, we can actually smell the resin. And what you do with this resin now is actually you can leave it in one place where you're trying to meditate. You can actually cleanse every room, walk around with the resin in your house, cleanse every room and settle it down in one space. What we do recommend is whichever space you settle it down in, always be there for health and safety, and open the window so the air can circulate. This agar wood does fumigate but does not create as much smoke as some of the other resins do. That's the natural properties of the resin. So that's the whole video about resin burning from start to end. When you've completed the resin burning, the charcoal lasts for an hour or two. Make sure you dispose of it safely until it's actually fully distinguished. And that's the end of the resin burning video.